September 13th at 8160 West McNabb Road in North Lauderdale from 5 p.m. to 7 at AO Wireless. And your wish come true with unlimited plans and no annual contracts. Say hello to AO.
This is the new 97.3 The Coast traffic update. Good morning. Slow Friday ride in on the Shula northbound between the Turnpike and the Stafford Creek Expressway. Go eastbound San Luis from northwest 97 to Lejeune and Lee Palmetto northbound. Still fairly heavy between Bird Road and the Dolphin. Looking at Broward 595 eastbound, slow ride from Flamingo Road to University Drive, and 95 southbound, heavy around Davie Boulevard. That's traffic on the new 97.3 Coast.
Heard some great rumors about this little flotilla thing that's going on Saturday. I think it's like off Miami Beach.
Federal marshals seize Florida deputy's personal assets after sheriff refuses to pay settlement for man left paralyzed in wrongful shooting. A South Florida deputy who left a man paralyzed after confusing a cell phone for a gun had his personal items seized Saturday, including his car, clothes, television, furniture, golf clubs, fishing rods and computer, after his agency refused to pay the victim $200,000, a fraction of the $22.4 million a federal jury awarded him last year. Federal marshals seized Palm Beach County Sheriff's Deputy Adams Lynn under court order after Sheriff Rick Bradshaw refused to pay a dime towards the settlement, according to the Palm Beach Post. The shooting took place on September 13, 2013 after Lynn spotted 19-year-old Dontrell Stevens riding his bicycle in what he described as a high-crime area, which was Stevens' poverty-stricken neighborhood. Lynn also said Stevens rode his bike from the left side of a residential street to the right side of the street without using a marked crosswalk, which made him even more suspicious. Dashcam video from Lynn's patrol car shows Stevens step off his bicycle with a cell phone in his hand after the deputy pulled up behind him. Stevens then steps out of frame for a few seconds, which was when Lynn opened fire on him, shooting him 4 times, claiming he was in fear for his life because the teen was reaching for his waistband. There's nothing in the rules of engagement that says we have to put our lives in jeopardy to wait and find out what this is and get killed, Palm Beach County Sheriff Rick Bradshaw told reporters the day of the shooting. But that was before the video was released, which showed the only person whose life was in jeopardy was Stevens. Lynn, of course, was cleared of any wrongdoing, and was promoted to sergeant after the shooting. And Stevens, who was then confined to a wheelchair, filed a federal lawsuit. In February 2016, a federal jury watched the video and deliberated for 3.5 hours before awarding Stevens $22.4 million. However, because Florida law places a $200,000 cap on such settlements, the matter needed to go before the legislature before Stevens could be awarded the full amount. But because that may never happen, Stevens' attorneys asked Sheriff Bradshaw to pay $200,000 towards the settlement, but the sheriff refused, filing an appeal. A magistrate judge upheld the verdict in May 2016, but the sheriff only vowed to appeal the verdict to a higher court, according to the Palm Beach Post. A federal magistrate on Wednesday upheld a $22.4 million verdict against the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office in a 2013 shooting that left a 22-year-old West Palm Beach man paralyzed from the waist down. In a 40-page opinion, U.S. Magistrate Barry Seltzer rejected claims by the sheriff's office that the February verdict was so excessive that it shocked the conscience of the court. Comparing it to other jury verdicts in cases where people were left paralyzed by the fault of the others, Seltzer found that the amount was reasonable. Stevens lost use of his lower extremities, lost control of his bowel, lost control of his bladder, lost his sexual function, and suffers constant and severe pain, Seltzer wrote. Further, given his young age and his life expectancy, Stevens will have to live in that condition for more than 50 years. Quoting a decision in another case, Seltzer wrote, "Put simply, the enormity of the award is matched by the enormity of the plaintiff's damages." In addition to refusing to award Stevens less money, Seltzer turned down the sheriff's request for a new trial. Because the sheriff did not want to pay Stevens anything, the judge allowed federal marshals to seize his personal belongings to auction them off to help pay for the victim's medical and living expenses. Stevens' attorney tried to garner the deputy's wages, but because more than 50% of his salary goes towards his daughter, he is exempt from having his salary garnished.